Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, we're going to talk about Beelink ME Mini, a unique type of device. So let's dive deep into it. So why do we need this unique type of device? Well, reality is we are making a lot of data, meaning every Tom, Dick and Harry has a phone, and there is a very good chance if you are living with your family, so you could have like 4 or 5 smartphones generating data like there is no tomorrow. And right now, many people just trust it to the cloud. Free cloud, God help you. And most of the time you are paying some amount, like even I have like, basically basic plan of Google One. But here's the deal. Trusting all the data in one point is just asking for disaster, so to say. So it's generally we need something that has local backup vault. Failure to do so, it's a really not ideal. Let's just put it that way. And here's the deal. You might be like, okay, why deal with SSD rather than hard drive? While hard drive are cheaper per terabyte, that is absolutely true. It does come with some issue. First, they are big. Now, hard drive itself is big. That means by the time you design the whole hardware around it, it would be huge. Now, it's like, is that a big deal? It depends on who you are, where you are. For example, for me, I have a whole floor. So I do not have to worry about it. But many people like who are living in rented apartment or who like, who like things minimalist or things of that nature. Yeah, that size is an issue. While bigger issue is sound. Now, hard drive is really annoying in terms of sound simply because it's not fixed noise. It's not like, a fan that is going, it's going, it has way too many sides. And especially if your house is quiet, you would be shocked how loud hard drives are. Like if you live in a place where your background noise is high, you do not pay attention to it. But if background noise is low enough, you'll be shocked how loud the hard drives are. And then power draw, that's a big issue. Again, I have old computer, I have plays, I have mechanical hard drives, I am cool with it. I just can't run it simply because of the power draw. And again, power in my location is bad because again, without solar inverter and then having a backup UPS, I would not trust that thing. So fundamentally that creates an issue. That is a much bigger issue for a lot of people. It's like, yeah, electricity, some places are very expensive. Not everybody has solar. So they're like, yeah, bro, we want to make sure that we are draining as little power as possible. So, and even if, let's just say you dealt with all of that, you have power is not an issue, power is cheap enough, you do not worry about sound and the size is not an issue, then you come with a final bottleneck which can't be solved. It does not matter whether you're like buying hammer drives or SAS drive, is that high latency and slow read and write, meaning even though on principle, the interface that you have on your mechanical drives, those puppies are SATA 3, that is 6 Gbps, aka 600 megabytes per second. Yeah, but you're never gonna get that. If you are lucky, you're gonna get 200, 250. And again, if you're dealing with large sequential file, then only. If you have a lot of random files, God help you. So if you are like, okay, I'm backing up all the photos, you would be shocked how brutally photos will destroy your hard drive simply because it will be scattered everywhere. So fundamentally, that becomes the final bottleneck. So what an average consumer can do, not the server people, not Linus Tech Tips, what average person can do. M.2 is cheap enough, especially if it's low enough, meaning if you're only dealing with 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, ironically, it's cheap. Meaning at this point in time, in many places, you can get a 2 terabyte mechanical hard drive and 2 terabyte M.2 from reputed brand with almost the same price. Almost. So what does that mean? That simply means you can have your own NAS with M.2 without worrying about the power, noise and all that issue, as long as you have lot of slots, because you're not gonna get, you're not gonna buy like 4 terabyte M.2. They do exist, but they are idiotically expensive. So that's why we needed something unique that does not have like the GG horsepower, but does have a lot of slots. Just for the number of slots, the higher the slot count, the better it would be. Simply because right now the sweet spot is around 2 terabyte. Now let that be very clear. That may be different in different countries, but every country will have something similar. Whereas like, you know what, 4 terabyte is GG here. Some places it would be only 1 terabyte if you have way too much tariff and all that. So that's up to you. So there is a need for it, because again, you could lose your whole life backup simply because you forgot payment one time, or worst case scenario, your card failed and you did not pick up the notification. So, and again, server also goes down. So that's a real thing. You could have a scenario where kaput happens. Your ISP can go down, your gateway can go down. Things happen, real life. So relying everything on one cloud is just like, no. So having a local backup is good, necessary even. So let's look into Beelink, so to say. Beelink is a Chinese PC brand, so to say. Now here's the deal, you have to understand, almost everything is made in China, everything. But Chinese people were only like a OEM, where they were just white labeling things for other people. But at some point they kind of realized, wait a minute, if you are making the damn thing, Why we are labeling it for someone else? Why can't we make our own label? And again, they did. So right now they are very successful with that, and brick by brick, day by day, they are doing that in almost everything. Now they have their own printer companies, their own computer hardware, because before this, all you had was HP, Dell, Lenovo, something here and there, but that's it. The end, go home. But Chinese people are like, we are the one manufacturing it from ground up. So why not just make our own brand? So this company started in 2011. That time they had a different kind of brand name, and Beelink became the global brand registration in 2014. So they have been chipping away. They had different product lineups and all that. So by the time they wanted to like go big, so to say, in 2014-15, they had like 50 to 200 employees. So not a very massive company, but again, that's the benefit of being in China. You can literally go to other brands, like, bro, there is a guy that builds motherboard. Go there. There's a guy who builds the like heat sink. Go there, guy that does the injection molding. So it is easy. That's why you can make a computer company with custom hardware in China with only 100 to 200 employees. So they looked at a very specific niche that no other brand was actually doing properly other than Apple, was like mastering the art of mini PC. Now they have making mini PCs. So the unique part about them is like they actually pay attention to it. It's like, hey, they actually put the power brick in the power PC itself. I have no idea how the heck a world got convinced that 1 liter PC exists. If you look from Dell, HP, Lenovo's, and again, they sell a lot of them in offices. It's just that, yeah, this is super small, awesome, GG. Here's the, this is the power brick size, like almost half of the box size is in the power brick, and that's outside. That's stupid. That I do respect. Like whoever is the engineer who designed the Mac PCs, they have always respect about this part. It's like they do not try to put power brick outside. That's dumb. That's just bad design philosophy. So this company actually did that, which, let them be very clear, it's a rare for almost all Western brand to is like, oh, we make it tiny by removing power brick. No, we make it tiny and have a tiny power brick, which again nowadays is super easy. By the time 2014, we had very high frequency switching SMPS, so you can get very small one. Nowadays, as in like after 2020, you can get microscopic PSUs right now that can easily handle any high-end PC, and they will not even make too much heat. It's called gallium nitride. So this company has been mastering the art of making tiny PC, complete PC. So they have that unique niche. So for example, they have been making PCs with Core Ultra 9 185H or AMD AI 9. These are heavy, high heat puppies. And they're like, we got this, we good, we developed it. They had some issues, they worked there, worked through it brick by brick. They actually made it good. Like this puppy has LPDDR5X at 8000 megahertz. That's not fast, that's freaking fast. So, and again, you can buy micro PC from them that has the ability to dock a GPU. So they had created a niche environment globally where it's like, nah, we know what we are doing. So they are like, hey, what if we took that knowledge and built this puppy? So this puppy is a tiny network attached storage. How tiny? As just 10 centimeter cube. So basically a bigger Rubik's Cube. You do not have to think too much about it. Heck, many of you have power bricks that are larger than that. So a very low power device, as in it will not drain your electricity bill, or if you have solar, you will not even notice it, and it can do things. And because they have wisdom, they put 6 NVMe slots, simply because, again, cost right now is arranged in such a way that it's better to have a lot of slots rather than few high-speed slots. So they built this, and everything about this is wisely designed. It's not the latest and greatest, it's more like, how would you do it wisely for most amount of people for the least amount of money? And it shows certain level of maturity that you would be shocked how hard it is, given the fact that do not overheat. So let's understand the specification here. Now, here's the deal. There is a S-curve in almost every product, meaning if you are buying bare minimum in your mobile phone, like if you are trying to get the cheapest mobile phone, you will not have anything, practically speaking. But if you pay a little bit more, you get a little bit more features. There is a curve like this. Curve goes up, up, up. But here's the deal. After a certain point, you don't get much more, meaning removing folding phones, you can pay bonkersly large amount of money, but you will not get bonkersly more performance than, let's say, a 50,000 rupees phone versus a 80,000 rupees phone. That gap will not be huge, but a 10,000 rupee versus 50,000 would be magnificent gap. So same happens here. This company is very clever. It's like, we're not gonna give you bottom basement. We're not gonna like, oh, this is the bare minimum we can do. No, just one step above. But here's the deal. One step above in everything. So the idea is, what if you have a tech mindset and you're like, hey, I want to make a router. tada, dual port. Now here's the deal. They could give two 10 Gbps. It's just that SoC that they are using is not that powerful, so it would be waste of time. And again, if you're buying something like this, likelihood of you having a 10 Gbps network is like, how shall I put this? No. So they're like, hey, what is the bare minimum? 1 Gbps. What is one step above? 2.5. Lot of motherboards now have 2.5. Heck, some laptops also have that. Some, because laptops are more switching to Wi-Fi. So right now, Ethernet on desktops are stuck at 2.5. There is 5 Gbps also, but that was not very successful. And 10 Gbps becomes such a tedious thing that it's like, yeah, just switch to fiber. So 2.5, one step above. Two of them, meaning you can use this puppy as a proper router and basically VPN or ad blocker, things of that nature. This is like, I got you, one step above. And then this has SSD on each of the SSDs. 5 of the SSDs have only PCI 3.0 one lane. Now, if you know about M.2, you know those puppies are 4-lane devices. Why you are driving them one? Yeah, thankfully PCI was designed in such a way that it can work with that. Like, that's a normal operational scenario. You do not have to worry about it. It's like, I got this. You can just send one PCI lane. It's like, I got this. Fine. So that's there. Now, why is that? Well, here's the, how does a NAS operate? It operates via the network interface. Network interface, even if you aggregate both of those puppies, theoretically, you're only going to get 600 Mbps. You have 1 Gbps. So you have more than enough buffer room. So this lane shrinkage is not an issue. And people are like, oh, but I want NVMe fast. Here's the deal. You can buy it. It's just called a server. It's super duper hyper expensive to have PCI lanes. They are very expensive. Like if you want, like, I want PCI 5.2, 4 lanes per NVMe. Can you do that? Of course you can do that. It's just that don't ask the price. It goes to like, $50,000. So there is a reason why this is very smart. It's like, yeah, everybody wants high speed. It's just like, bro, your network is not fast enough to use it. Don't worry about it. And again, you will still have the benefit. Even if the network is not fast enough, if you have 1 Gbps, every time one of the SSD goes kaput and you put a blank one, how quickly it can be rebuilt, it can utilize the speed at that point in time. So you will have super fast rebuild, which again, mechanical hard drives, the worst point is that itself is that if hard drive goes down, like let's say you have 6 hard drives, one hard drive goes down, you pull it out, you put a new one in, everything is in degraded state at that point in time. Why? Because to rebuild it, all the hard drive has to go full speed and for very long times, as in hours to sometimes few days continuously. And in those sort of high stress scenarios, second hard drive failure is ludicrously high. So this 1 Gbps, it does give you the speed, the throughput, where you can just like kaput and rebuild a new radar system without too much hassle, and fast enough that network won't be bottlenecks like, oh, only if we had more. No, you have this, more than good enough, don't worry about it. And they're like, okay, they give you one slot in this is fire speed that has like, basically 2 lane. But they're like only for one. For some people who are like, I want a different kind of operating system that has heavy read and write, or you're caching it, yeah, then you could benefit from that. They have that, but penalty of that would be you will only get 5 NVMe SSD for your storage. 1 would be for operating system. Most people will not do that. They're like, hey, what if you use pen drive to do that? They're like, okay, what is one step above that? eMMC. They have onboard eMMC that allows you to do basically operating system. Now, let that be clear, not all operating system are the same for NAS. Some operating system are designed in such a way that they can work on something very, what you call low grade, basically pen drives. Some are designed, no, it's going to do a lot of read and write. But again, the eMMC that they are providing is not the bottom basement. It's one step above. So you will be fine. You don't have to worry. And benefit of that, you will get 6 GG SSDs. And even the SSD, they are so smart. It's like, what if SSDs, NAND chips are facing towards the size of basically heat sinks? It's a small thing. And they put it. And it's like, tada, one fan cools them all. So this is very clever. And again, if you look into their website, they are saying do not put more than 4 terabyte. The reason for that is if you buy basically 8 terabyte M.2, generally they have NAND chips on both sides. So one side would be cooled, another side will not be cooled. So unless you are living in a very cold Canada, or like your air conditioned room is very, very air conditioned, I would not recommend that. So, but again, let that be clear. It's not a firmware limitation. It's a more of a thermal limitation. But again, if you're buying this, likelihood of you being able to afford 8 terabyte M.2 is like, really? So, not any, although it could become an issue in the future. Maybe you buy this 5 years down the line, price comes down. Things can happen. So, everything about this is very unique, and the fact that it is a power brick. And again, power bricks are small nowadays, like very, very tiny. 45 watt power brick is on there. It's small, it's tiny. You do not have to worry about it. It's very good. So actual heatsink, everything is actually heat synced, and the processor they are using is Intel Twin Lake N150 12th gen basically, and it has 12 GB RAM, which is a bit low. I was expecting 16, but again, designed for the price. If you have 12 terabytes of M.2, more than good enough. For NVMe, generally for TrueNAS, they expect 1 terabyte for 1 gigabyte of RAM. So decent enough, decent enough. Again, let that be clear. It does not mean it will not work if you have lower than that. It's just that optimum sweet spot, so to say. So this specification is very logical. Nothing about this is like, whoa, because again, it's the price is not whoa. It's like, hey, how can we do the most with the least amount of resources and actually be more flexible in most scenario. So what about the performance? Now, let that be very clear. This is very simple. It's a low-cost device. You have to treat it as such. You just because you can put NVMe, you don't expect it's like, what if we're going to do data crunching on that? Nah. What if you have 10 people video editing on the nah? No, it's not designed. It's a low-power, low-cost device. So you have to be very logical. Now, you can do a lot of things for like a small household application, or even in a case of office. If you have this as a backup server of like a small size office and you just back it up at every night, fine. GG. Easy peasy. But don't expect like, GG, what if I have like 50-60 Docker containers running into that? No. So you have to be a bit reasonable with that. So you can do a lot, but it's not a full-fledged server. Again, it's a running power draw is generally around 14 to 15 watts. Don't expect too much out of it. And you can't do heavy transcoding because there is no GPU. While it can handle almost all modern codecs, including AV1 codecs, because again, modern CPU. That's the one benefit of getting modern hardware. It's like I do have a GTX 1070. It has a lot of crunch, but can't support modern hardware firmware, basically codecs. That time AV1 was not there. So I bought a 4070 Ti. It has AV1 codecs. So fundamentally, you have to be reasonable with that. Now, again, if you're using this as a backup point for your security footage, GG, have fun. And fully compatible with TrueNAS. Again, companies also tested it with that, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry is tested with that. Docker's containers are also tested. Read and write speed can easily cross 200 Mbps, meaning if you are just using it as a router, you're gonna get more than good enough performance. Now, wait a minute, why only 200? Generally, write does require parity calculation, and based on the things you are running on the background, it will be slow. Again, if you're buying something this cheap, that's all you're gonna expect. And is it bad? No. Again, you might be like, okay, 200, I can get that in mechanical. Yeah, if you have a lot of them. 1, no. 2, no. You need at least 6, I would say, where you can reliably hit that speed all the time. Like worst case scenario time. And latency still would be better in this. So fundamentally, it's a decent device. It's like it's made for lightweight application and good utilization of the hardware without draining too much power. So what can we expect in the future? Now, this is a very good growth in the PC market because again, long ago, it was just like settled, as in like you have Dell, you have HP, you have Lenovo, you have Apple, you have the end. There is nothing more. It was like framework is like a very big whoa change, and this sort of company is also very unique. It's like, hey, what if you do it differently? So I'm very, very happy with this. It's like there are some new players, they are trying some new things, which is good. This is how you have innovation. This is how things change. So we are very happy with it. And every Tom, Dick, and Harry needs a small, easy data vault. Everybody. So more competition in this department because again, ASUS does have a good product here. It's just that expensive AF. So it's like, and there are other companies that are making like this. Expensive AF. You don't want expensive AF for everything. It's like, and again, if it's precious enough, it's like, okay, you're going to deal with it. It's just that. If it's too expensive, most people will not try it because again, the hardware has to be cheap because NVMe is the expensive part. So the more competition happens in this time, the more the price will remain logical and the better for us. Because again, right now, let's just say Synology, they smoked something. They're like, you know what if we just F all the medium-sized customers and small owners? What if we just created a law, a firmware law, so to say, that if you put any hard drive other than Synology, it will break the system. It's like, wait a minute, when did Synology made hard drives? Answer, never. There is no Synology hard drive, it's just a white label product. So it's a really bad thing. Although that happens in server also. So if you buy a Dell server, it will also require Dell hard drive itself. Again, that simply means they have verified it. But Synology doing that, which again, I get that if you are Dell dealing with like, Tony Stark or things of that nature. Tony Stark, Iron Man 2 has Dell servers. Look into it. But most people are like, yeah, no. So for those sort of people, having this sort of open market competition, it's a good thing. Where it's like, yo, Synology, buy. Now Ugreen is making good hardware. It's like, good, awesome, GG. That's what we want. So, and actually showcasing decent hardware. I'm like, it's not about the like having the latest and greatest basically system. It's just that balancing the hardware out. It's like, what if we put like, 10 GPS? Yeah, you can put it. It just cannot crunch fast enough. What would be the point? Having two of them does allow you to use this puppy as a good high speed networking. So they're like, hey, with that, everything about this is balanced. It's not like, what if we put like 500 watts of power? It's like, there is no point. So it's very logical, very compact, very thought out. Like it feels like somebody sat down and thought about it. It's like, okay, how can I provide a good product? So it's a very good thing. And I only wished if they had better global shipping. India is not available. Nepal is available. India is not available. I think some tariff boom boom is happening, but such is life. Although in USA you can get direct shipping from them. So it's a good growth. I do like this idea, and again, this could inspire some other brands to like change up things, have some different integrations. Let's see. So this was my presentation on this unique, super small cube satellite kind of size 6 NVMe data storage. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike. Press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.